And finally, Christopher McQuarrie is simply one of the most sought-after filmmakers in the business today. The Academy Award-winning filmmaker wrote such films as The Usual Suspects, The Edge of Tomorrow, and Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, and has directed films like Rogue Nation and its highly anticipated upcoming sequel, Mission Impossible Fallout. However, despite recent rumors and stories of him possibly being interested in doing a Man of Steel 2 or even a Star Wars film, don't count on it. Recent interactions with toxic fans have turned the director off of those films.
I wonder what direction this video is gonna take and what side John Campea is gonna side on regarding to either fans or the people behind the movies. Who is he gonna defend? Who is he gonna side with and try to make an argument for? Hint, hint, it's not the fans.
From Sci-Fi, McQuarrie tweeted a tribute to Rod Serling, citing his ability to fold in important social and contemporary messages into genre sci-fi stories. This came up as a part of a Twitter conversation with Star Wars The Last Jedi director Rian Johnson, during which Johnson cited McQuarrie as a writer to listen to given his undoubted abilities. Unfortunately, as you can imagine, having Rian Johnson there as a part of the conversation, with McQuarrie accurately mentioning including social messages into sci-fi and genre films, got the toxic fanboys stirred into a frenzy.
Wait. There's a difference having social messages implemented in your art, or in this instance movies. There's a big difference in having themes in movies and implementing political themes that suit your kind of politics, especially what we've seen with Star Wars. That's basically a straw man from John Campea, because what Rian Johnson did in The Last Jedi wasn't just having social themes or anything like that. He rammed shit down our throats regarding feminism, Mary Sue's, female authorities, men being useless, and things like that. What John Campea is doing is completely false, and blaming it, and here we go. He blames it on the fans, the toxic fans. You know, it's the same fans that are watching him, and he is actively shitting on them. You know, this is why he's becoming more and more irrelevant, because he keeps on shitting on the fans that want to have great movies, but Rian Johnson is going out and crapping on gamers and just fans in general of Star Wars that want genuinely good movies. They are just doubling, tripling, and quadrupling down on their defense of the so-called movies, instead of actually listening to the fans and just accepting the fact that some people didn't like the movie. And I mean, where was Zack Snyder when everybody crapped on him in regards to Batman versus Superman? Like, he didn't go out of his way to crap on fans. I personally like the extended version of the so-called Snyder cut of Batman versus Superman. But you see, a lot of different directors don't go after their fans, but it's only when Disney does it, when they go after the fans, that the people going after the fans are correct. What happened to the customer is always right. This is why the Star Wars movies are gonna tank, especially his movies are gonna tank so hard.
What followed can only be described as disgusting and cancerous, as we've come to expect from this subgroup. It was so bad that an exasperated Christopher McQuarrie tweeted the following to Rian Johnson. "My friend, after 5 minutes of this, I don't know why you're still on Twitter. I would have loved to make a Star Wars film someday. Huh, I'm cured."
That is actually a valid point. Why are these guys on Twitter crapping on their fans? Now, whatever this McQuarrie guy's deal is, if he doesn't want to direct a Star Wars movie, like, that's up to him. That's his decision to make. And if other people don't want to do it, that's fine as well. But don't go and crap on your fans. And as far as I know, Christopher McQuarrie hasn't crapped on his fans, and so far he's actually produced mostly just very well movies. And I think it would be a shame for him to actually not to make a superhero movie or a Star Wars movie. But in regards to how Star Wars looks like right now, it's probably for the best that he doesn't do one. And as to regards to John Campea, fuck you. Telling just fans are toxic. Just I don't know what to say to that even.
Following that, a fan asked McQuarrie if he was still interested in doing Man of Steel 2 with his Mission Impossible Fallout star Henry Cavill, to which he replied the following: "Nah, after tonight, I think I'm good." This is a really sad situation, and it's getting worse. As a matter of fact, about a week ago, I was talking to a producer friend of mine who was having dinner with the director of one of the bigger films of 2017, and the Star Wars situation came up. And the director said to my friend, no, he would never want to direct a Star Wars film anymore, not now. He wouldn't want to be, as he put it, in the same sandbox with those people.
So a friend who ate dinner with some sort of director said to you that they didn't want to direct Star Wars because of the fan base. It's good to know that you can prove all of this and just throw shit onto the wall and not even to prove your assertions of directors are not gonna go near the franchise because of the fans, because you can of course prove all of this. Of course you can.
Talking about the toxic fandom right now. He said, quoting the fact that he has kids, it's like, I have kids. I don't want them reading this garbage that gets written all the time. And now we've got a filmmaker of the stature of a Christopher McQuarrie, an Academy Award winning dude, who a lot of people were excited at the notion that he maybe, like there was no announcement, nothing official about this at all, just a lot of speculation that, working with Henry Cavill, he said once, Christopher McQuarrie actually said, all Henry Cavill has to do is ask me and I'll direct a Man of Steel 2.
So let me get this straight. Your argument is you have two directors basically, one you haven't named and one that is named here. Both of them have not been signed to direct a Star Wars movie, and they don't want to direct one. So what's your point? I mean, first of all, the one director you mentioned, again, you can't prove shit. And the second one is just a Twitter exchange. Maybe he didn't have any incentive to make one in the first place. I mean, Twitter is not exactly the best place to have conversations and share your ideas. I mean, is this really what you are basing your argument on? Is one director made two tweets and that somehow proves that the entire Star Wars fandom is toxic? Man, come the fuck on, man.
A lot of people were excited by that, but after this interaction, this exposure to this toxic fandom that a lot of us are getting used to, he said, you know what, forget it. And just the way he said it to Rian Johnson was crazy. He goes, you know what, I would have loved to have directed a Star Wars movie. I'm cured of that. Like, I don't want to do that anymore. So much so that it's spilled over into other genre fandoms as well. He's just saying, like, being asked, if do you want to direct a Man of Steel 2 still? Nah, after tonight, no. Like, I don't want to be around these people. And it is really sad but it's just symbolic and representative of what's been going on a larger scale.
Really now. So it's what we're getting used to. Really now. Really. Because the people I talk about regarding to or about Star Wars, they love the franchise. I myself, I love Star Wars. But I no longer consider any movie after after episode 6 to be canon. I mean, I count Rogue One, but the 3 other movies, I don't count them as canon. I'm gonna enjoy what George Lucas made, and I'm gonna enjoy Rogue One because I feel there was passion behind that project, and some love poured into it. But all the other movies, I'm not gonna pay any money to see any more Star Wars anymore. I'm not gonna see Episode 9. I've just had it, and I did Han Solo the review, but there wasn't much interest on this channel to hear the review of Han Solo. So why even pay for a movie where people have no interest in anymore? So when he's saying symbolic, I mean, he's probably right, but not in the way he thinks, because he's the one that's trying to make an argument on behalf of against the fans, but it's the Disney shills and Disney themselves with Lucasfilm that are going after the fans, and it's the fans that don't want to be near anywhere the people behind it or the franchise, because you and others are constantly crapping on people who just love the movies and want the politics to be out of something they love. It's that simple. But you keep hammering on, you just keep bashing people, especially white men, because they have different opinions than you. I think it's despicable, really despicable.
A lot of true blue movie fans are being turned off movie fandom. A lot of filmmakers are being turned off wanting to have anything to do that might have this subgroup of fandom as a part of it. Look, again, it's important to understand we shouldn't lump in just regular movie fans who don't happen to like the new Star Wars movies. Nothing wrong with that. We don't want to lump those people in with this toxic group that's there that use, all the tools at their disposal to be as destructive and as cancerous as they possibly can to try to achieve their goals.
So here he actually goes through a few points. So he says movie fans are being turned off from movie fandom. And you're quite right. Because first of all, you are making crappy movies. And second of all, you're insulting the fans. And you know what happens when you do that? People don't watch the movies. And Han Solo is proof of this. Hell, even Justice League is proof of this. Even though it's probably a guilty pleasure of mine, but I see that Joss Whedon screwed up the movie, and I can acknowledge it has faults. It has faults. And when you constantly defend people when they make bad movies, you sound, you talk, you look like a shill for the companies. I used to have a respect for John Campea, for his opinions, his voice, his overall view on the movie industry. But after Star Wars has come out, he's just put on his blinders and become a complete fanboy because he wants to go to the movie premieres and have contacts within the company and get scoops. And he also says directors are being turned off by these fans. You had one director who said this, that he could actually prove who said this. But we don't even know if he was ever gonna be signed on to make a Star Wars movie. We don't know. And maybe he didn't even want to do one. He's doing one with the Mission Impossible movies. He's doing one with Edge of Tomorrow. I mean, he has other projects he can do. Well, he doesn't really need Star Wars. And as Star Wars is looking right now, why would you? And here he says, we shouldn't lump in the fans with the toxic subgroup. So why are you making it out to be that all fans are toxic? Why aren't you ignoring it and actually addressing the criticism us so-called toxic fans are saying? Geeks and gamers, world-class bullshitters. Ethan Van Sciver, John Tuck Star Wars, Jesse Milestone, Anna, that Star Wars girl. You have all these people. They have different backgrounds, different skin color. They are different genders, and somehow you're just ignoring these people who have valid criticism of the movie and just call us toxic. And you ask us, what are their goals? You just claim that this toxic community just want to destroy and I mean, just destroy Star Wars. That's not true. That's not true at all. What is true is that we want good movies. And so far, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions, they haven't been good. The Last Jedi was not good. It destroyed previously established characters, and I didn't like The Force Awakens either. I didn't like Han Solo. It was boring. Rogue One was good, on the precipice of being great. I can even claim that. That's my personal opinion. It's fine if you disagree. I just think that the goal of most, was it almost everyone in the Star Wars community, is to have good movies, not bad ones. But you just ignore this.
There's
You
words
just
for
ignore
that.
this,
I
John.
won't use them here. But it is really unfortunate that we're seeing like top-notch filmmakers now stepping up and saying, Christopher McQuarrie being only the first public one to say, look, I don't even want to do a Star Wars movie now if these are the people that I would have to interact with. It's really unfortunate. And that'll do it.
You know, it's really interesting that you aren't the one defending those who got fired in the process and didn't get treated right. Colin Trevorrow, Lord Miller, and Josh Trank. They didn't get a fair shake, now did they? But you like to just blame the fandom and have this vague example of someone and just want to crap all over the fandom. Congratulations, Sean. You've completely sold out.